All right, so that's done. Next thing is basically we would like to connect DBT Cloud with our Snowflake databases so we can retrieve the data from the raw database, and after doing or after performing all the transformations we'd like to put that into analytics database. So for that, we have two options. The first is using the Partner Connect. That's a connector that DBT provides. And the second way is manually connecting through DBT Cloud itself. So let's actually explore the Partner Connect option and see how we can connect from using that. For that, all I have to go back to uh, the main screen of my Snowflake and go to the admin, and right at the end of admin options we have the Partner Connect. So I'm going to click that. Once we are here, we have to search for DBT Partner Connect, and we have to click into that. So I'm basically following this documentation. So I already know the steps. So I'm just opening that as a frame of reference right to the next. So in order for you to follow that documentation, you don't necessarily need to watch the video. If you're doing it again, you can go through the documentation instead if that's convenient. So next thing we wanted to do over here on the DB connect to DBT screen is we have to grant access to the database objects that we created. The first is raw and second analytics. And I already mentioned why we need both of these databases. So next we'll do is basically connect. So, all right. So it says an existing DBT account is already linked to your Snowflake account. If you have access to this account, click launch. So basically, I've already connected, a Snowflake account. So that's what it's mentioning. If you are new or the first time you're connecting your account, you'll probably get the options like this. Like it would be asking you to activate your DBT Cloud account, and it'll take you to the DBT Cloud and website where you have to sign up, create account, and then you have to go to the account setting of the DBT Cloud to basically set up a Partner Connect trial account with the relevant database and warehouse information. This process is somewhat similar to manual one, and I'm going to go with the manual one so you can have the more deeper understanding. So first thing is basically all we need is to create a new project. So I'll give it like maybe again I'll give it analytics project name. I'll just give it analytics proj, save, and then it's asking me to choose the database connection for which database I'm going to use. I'm going to go with the Snowflake next, and then we'll be setting up Snowflake connection uh, in DBT Cloud. So the first thing we have to do is to give a connection name. It's already the connection type is already set up. That's what we did in the previous step. Uh, for the sake of like clarification, or if we have multiple connections at some point, so we can give a unique name here as well. So I'm going to go with the Snowflake because it's just a demonstration and we only have one connection. And next thing is that we need to put an account name over here for our Snowflake connection. So for that, we have to jump back to the Snowflake and to get the account name, all I have to do is to go to the accounts option under the admin setting. When I click accounts, I'll have the list of all accounts over here. It's going to take a couple of seconds. All right, here we are. So you can see this link icon over here. I can do copy it from here and go back to here to my account option. I'll paste it here. You can see have a couple of other things in the URL as well with the URL, but I don't need the whole URL. I have to just uh, remove the last dot snowflake computing and also the https colon slash slash. So this is basically the account name. And then we would like to basically give the database that we will be like to that we will be selecting. So we'll be adding analytics over here because that's where we'll be creating our models, and after making all the transformations, we'll be placing the models and modeled objects over there, and we'll be using the transforming data warehouse. So I'm going to add that here, and the role is optional, so I'm gonna leave that blank. Next is authentication. We have two authentication methods: username and password. And the key pair, I'm gonna go with the username and password because that seems a very easier approach over here and convenient approach. So I'm going to get uh, my Snowflake username and password. I'll say copy username, paste, and also I'm going to go back again. Snowflake, copy password, and I'm going to place the password over here. And then we have a couple of other options over here. The schema is here. It's basically, it will be creating another schema where your development workflow would be placed. Whenever you do some development, is going to be using that dbt dash whatever schema. So that's the whole connections information that we need for setting up Snowflake in DBT. So next thing will be, before making finishing the setup, we'll like to test our connection. So hitting test, and you can see that the test has been completed. It looks like we're good to go, and I'll then hit next. All right, so the next thing is setting up the Git repository. So you can see on the screen that we have a few options available for that. We can go with the GitHub or GitHub Lab if we would like to create a repository over there. But we have one more interesting option over here is managed repository. So basically, the managed repo is, as the name explains, that it's being managed by the DBT Cloud itself, and that's a very convenient option, especially when we are dealing with the learning implementation. And also, if we have the DBT Cloud subscription, that's a pretty good option to use the managed one. So I'm going to go with that for now, for the sake of demonstration as well. I'm going to give it a name. I'll say. Uh, I'll say our first repo first. Um, DBT Cloud project, right? And then we'll create the repository. It's going to take a few seconds. Sometimes it takes more time, sometimes it's very quick. All right, so we have interesting celebrating message over here that our project is ready. Nice. So the next thing is that we have to select start developing in IDE. So we have to first do all the development, so we're going to go with that option. It's going to take some time to spin up our project and establish all the connection